Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
If you follow and watch me regularly on Instagram, then you must be aware that on last Saturday I added this post, which was of Saturday's project challenge, and the title was Build an AI Fake News and Misinformation Detector. And in this video, I will be building the same for you all guys using Gemini API key. So without wasting any time, let's start. So before starting, I would like to let you know that all of the source code that you are seeing on the screen will be provided to you in the GitHub repo, and the URL of the GitHub repo is in description. So here, as you can see, there are three main files. First one is app.main file, which will include the source code of user interface. The analyzer.py will be the main brain of this project, where we will be using Gemini API key. And the last file is utis file. This file will simply parse our user input and make it perfect so that we can provide the input to Gemini model and get appropriate output. And apart from these three main files, this is the .env file where our Gemini API key is present. The next is requirement.txt file. This will help to install all necessary packages at once. And the last one is image that I just demonstrated in the starting of this video. And this is the virtual environment folder in which the entire application will be running. So now let's understand the code line by line. So I will open this folder in VS Code. So as you can see, this is the main code and I have already opened the file app.py. This is the starting point of project. In the beginning, I have imported the requirement packages, which is Streamlit, and this is the file name, which means from the file name analyzer.py import this function, and from utis.py file import this function extract from URL. So we will talk about these two files later. So first, these two lines are simply add a heading to our project, which is AI fake news detector, and subtitle will be paste an article or enter a URL. So in this way, we will alerting the user that if you want to paste the article, it's fine, or even if it's okay if you directly paste the URL of that article. After that, I have just provided the radio button to choose. First one is paste text and the next one is enter URL. And let's assume the user selected this paste text option. So it will simply allow user to provide a text area where user can simply paste the text by using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V option. And the second option is URL option. So we will simply take user input URL using this text.input, and after taking that URL we will simply pass the data. Because we cannot pass the URL as it is to Gemini model, it will definitely give us errors. So we need to simply extract textual content from the URL. To do that, this is the function which is extract from URL, and this function is present in utis.py file. So let's check that function first. So as you can see, this is the utis.py file, which includes only one function, which is extract from URL. And I have done basic imports, which is request and BeautifulSoup. This function works in three steps. First step is simply fetch all data from URL, and this is achieved in this line request.get. I will pass the URL and headers are this, and the timeout is of 10 seconds. And the data that we will receive, it will be not in good format, and we cannot still give the data to Gemini model. So we need to pass the data in HTML content. So for that we will use BeautifulSoup and simply give the response or text, and we want to pass it using HTML content. So we will get a proper structured HTML code in this step of soup. After that, we are only interested in the textual content, and if you know basics of HTML, all the textual content is present in only one tag, which is paragraph tag. So we will be using the same. This line simply find all the paragraph tags and extract the contents of all the paragraphs into this text. After appending all the data from all the paragraphs present on the web page, it will simply store it in the variable called as text. And before returning, I have just set a limit of that text to 5000, which means only first 5000 characters will be allowed. And also I have added exception here in this try catch block, which means try everything. If everything goes fine, simply send the textual content, and if something fails, simply return this couldn't fetch URL. So this was the utis.py file. Now let's simply jump back to app.py file where we stopped, which was this extract text from URL. After that, I have simply added a button which is analyze article, and this if statement will simply check that if user clicked on the analyze article button and article text is present, which means user has provided article. After that, it will simply show intimation to user that it's analyzing something, and it will take 3 to 5 seconds. And now it will simply send textual data that we just formatted to the Gemini model. This work is done by this analyze article, and in this function I will simply pass this textual content. So now let's move to the analyzer.py file where this analyze article function is present. So as you can see, this is the analyze.py file, and here I have done few imports. So first is google.generative AI. This is the input which will help us to import this Gemini API key and make request to the model and get the actual content. After that, these are the few basic import like import OS, array and JSON, which will help us to simply take the API key which is present in .env file, then parse JSON output that we will receive from Gemini model and show it to user. Now next step is to get Gemini API key, and this API key is stored in this .env file. So I will simply open this .env file, and here I have added a dummy API key, and definitely you will not have a Gemini API key right now. So how to get API key? So first you need to go to this URL. I will simply control click and it will open this URL. After that, if you are a new user, you may need to log in or sign in, so just do that. So you need to focus on this get API key. So I will simply click on this get API key, and this web page is open, and currently this is my API key that I am using in this project, but in your case this will be blank. So better you can simply click on this create API key button and name your key and choose importer project. So you can keep it as it is or you can change it if you want, and simply click create key and the key will be created. After creation of key, you can simply click on this copy button to copy the API key, then come back to the VS Code in the .env file and simply paste this key here. So now let's go back to the analyzer.py file where we stopped. This line simply takes the same API key from there, and after we need to choose model. So for this fake news detection, Gemini 2.5 flash model is the best model and I have selected that. So this line simply does that, and after that here comes the main function which is analyzer text. This function simply works in 4 steps. So first is creation of prompt, and in this prompt we will strictly mention that you are a misinformation detection expert. Analyze this article and return the JSON with trust score, explanation, 2-3 sentence summary and red flags. So this is the prompt that we will give to Gemini model, and after that we will paste the article. And after that I have mentioned here that return only valid JSON, no extra text. So this is the alert to the model that take the article, process it and give me these 3 things: trust score, explanation, red flag, and return valid JSON format. The next step is that to simply pass the prompt to the model. Response to store the JSON output, model.generate content, this is the function, and simply passing the prompt, which is this prompt. After that model will process it and give the output in response.text, and we are storing it in a raw variable which is in JSON format. Now it has provided us 3 things, which is trust score, explanation and red flags. So we will be searching them using this array package, and it is specialized for searching package, and we will simply return this output to the app.py file. So now let's head back to app.py file. So the output provided by this analyze article function will get stored in this result variable. Now we need to extract the following details, which is trust score. So to extract trust score, we will create a new variable which is store, and you will simply type result of trust score, and this result is a JSON format. So we can simply extract the trust score using this line, which is result of trust score, and it will get stored in this score variable. And after that we will just try to show alert to user based on the score. So here we will simply type st.metric trust score is score by 100. So let's say if it's 50, then it will simply show is 50. And here after that we will simply add this textual content, that if score is greater than 70, then simply show this text. If it's greater than 40, then show needs verification, and if it's below than 40, then it's likely misleading. So this kind of content we can provide. After that, add a subheader y, and here we will provide the explanation that model provided us, and we will provide explanation to the model's output by writing st.write results of explanation. And next is st.subheader, which is, and inside this JSON the red flags would be in list or sub JSON form. So to extract data from that kind of data, we will be using this line, which is for flag in results, red flags, st.write and list each flag type. I accept you might be get confusing in this part that how it will return the output, but I will show in the demonstration part. So this was the code explanation. Now let's execute this application. I will simply install all the necessary packages which are present in this requirement.txt file, which is this Streamlit, Google Generative AI, BeautifulSoup, request and python.env. So to install this package from requirement.txt file, the command is pip install -r, which means read the file, and the file name is requirement.txt. After that I will simply hit enter. So as you can see, the packages are successfully installed. Now let's clear the screen. So I will simply type clear here and the screen will get clear. And the next command to execute the Streamlit application is Streamlit run app.py. After writing this command, I will simply hit enter and it will automatically open Streamlit application in front of me, which is this. So this is the basic user interface made in Streamlit. So this is the title and this is the subheader that I just demonstrated you in the app.py file, which is these two lines. After that, input type st.radio. So as you can see, these are the input type paste text or enter URL, and currently the paste text is selected and you can simply copy paste the text. So first let's try to enter URL. So I'll select this URL part and we need a URL for this. To get a URL, simply open the browser and simply type news article, and I selected this, the hindu.com, and it's a valid source as you can see. So I will simply click create on it and I can simply see any article that I want, and this is the URL. I will simply copy it, go to the Streamlit application and simply paste it. That's it, and after that I will simply click analyze article, and as you can see it's analyzing with the spinner. Let's wait for a few seconds, and as you can see the trust score is 88 by 100. And moving ahead, this is the why. So this is the explanation provided by Gemini model, and as you know, the Hindu is the reputation publication, so this URL can be trusted. After that, the red flags found. Gemini still found some red flags due to which it has not added trust score as 100 out of 100. I hope you enjoyed this small project which you can simply create in 10 minutes. The source code, which is this, is available in the GitHub repository and the URL of that repository is in the description. You can check that. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this video.